And I said, no problem at all. And as a joke, I put down all 4 of the windows. Said, you don't mind if I let in a little fresh air while you smoke, do you? It broke the silence, and we all had a good laugh. I put the windows back up. Lasted for several months, and I don't know why, but I started smoking again. The second time was about 1.5 years ago. I quit again for money. I quit because someone had approached me and said, I run a stop smoking clinic, and if you'll take part in it, I'll buy ads on your station and pay you to endorse the product if you believe in it. And we're always talking about quitting smoking, and I said, well, yeah, okay, I'll give it a try. It was a good no-nonsense program, no gimmicks, no staples in the ear, no nicotine gum, just a no-nonsense program. The guy sat down with you for about an hour and tried to figure out why you smoked and what were the things that you liked about it and what were the things that you didn't like about smoking. And then he sent you home and brought you back the next week and went over it with you. And he in essence, helped you to talk yourself out of smoking. It was $37.50, cheap. It was great. Oh, God, it was great. And you know what was even better? It was the fact that so many people heard me talking about it. Heard me talking about it on the show because it worked for me. And it worked for Mary. And they went on the program. Or they did it on their own. No matter where I went, and I was a relatively high-profile person in Tampa because I was always on the tube or in the paper, people would recognize me and ask me about it. They'd say, gee, are you still off them? Or they'd ask for the name of the program, Dr. Robert Sobel, Quit for Life, Clearwater, Florida. It was great. You'd be standing there on the checkout counter, and the guy in front of you would turn around and say, aren't you Bob Lassiter? And then he'd point to the shirt pocket and say, so you're still off them, and it was really fantastic. And then the stories that we heard from people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people heard these ads and went and quit smoking. 7 months I lasted. We were eating out one night, and we put away quite a few Black Russians, and for whatever reason, I have no idea, I said to Mary, let's buy a package of cigarettes. We're safe now. And she said, oh, okay. And I got up from the table, and I went over to the cigarette machine, and I popped in a couple of bucks, and I came back, opened up that package, put one in my mouth, lit it. Oh, my God, I had never tasted anything so good. We sat there in that bar that night. Well, actually, we left the table and moved over to the bar and smoked the entire package between us, one after another. Like 2 little kids at a birthday party. Oh, this is great. Oh, God, this tastes good. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, this is so much. Finished the package and went home. And the next day, it was just like it had been the previous days for those 7 months. No cigarettes. Went through the entire week that way. And then, on a Tuesday night, it was a Tuesday night at first, I suggested we go out to dinner. And after dinner, suggested we get a package of cigarettes. And slowly but surely, started to smoke. But, you see, I had a problem because I had to sneak around because I was endorsing this no smoking program. And so I had to be very careful where I smoked, but unfortunately I wasn't very careful. Then the disaster happened. I was doing some kind of telethon in Tampa, Children's Hospital, I guess it was. And I'm very nervous about such things. I don't like to appear in public. I don't like to be on television. I don't like any of that kind of stuff that's associated with this business, to tell you the truth. And I did something really stupid. I stood out in the parking lot and had a cigarette, and somebody saw it and told somebody who didn't like me, who blindsided me one day on my show. I was absolutely devastated. Lied through my teeth about it. Said, no, because I knew that this person had not seen me, that he was getting the information secondhand. And I phrased my sentences and words with great care, but in essence was lying. I'd let an awful lot of people down. I was devastated. And I was a liar. And so I became much more careful about where I smoked. Nobody was going to catch me again. And then this job came up, and when I went back to Tampa to do my last show, I gave up all the pretenses, and I sat there doing the last show smoking. As a matter of fact, I did the last commercial with a cigarette in my hand. You know, I almost died when I got to Chicago and found out how much these damn things cost up here. Whoa! I even stopped buying them by the carton. Because, it was killing me to fork over a $20 bill, get a carton of cigarettes and, just a couple of bucks and change back, and somehow it seems it wasn't quite as bad if you gave them gave them $6 and got 3 packages of cigarettes. I mean, $6 isn't 20, even though you actually end up paying more doing it that way, but nonetheless, kind of stupid, huh? Tried a number of times to quit since then. I made it for about 3 days once. Most of the time, it can be measured in hours and in the single digits at that. Just within the last 2 weeks, I've tried twice to quit. I get very mean and irritable. I can't concentrate. I can't think. The power of nicotine takes control of my body. And it literally takes control of my mind. It demands that I give in. It sends me into a frenzy, driving me mad. Not figuratively, but actually. So when you start doing things like checking under the cushions to see if one fell down, or moving the couch out to see if there's one under there, or going through every last miserable piece of clothing you have to see if there's one cigarette left. And here's the kicker. You see, I know that feeling, that craving will go away after a few days. I know that I will feel so much better. I know that the cough will disappear in a couple of days. I know that the cravings will subside. I know all of this, but I hate to fly, and I do so very infrequently. I sure was annoyed when that no smoking ordinance went into effect this week, and I'm annoyed at local anti-smoking bans. In fact, we had a very serious problem right here at this radio station a couple of months ago. I alluded to it on the air. As a matter of fact, I made light of it on the air, but it was no joking matter. It concerned smoking in the station and in the studios. One of the big cheeses from New York intervened and salvaged me. He's a smoker. Computer again, the one that I just spent over an hour cleaning last week. And something suddenly dawns on me. For almost all of my life, with just a handful of years as a child, and maybe a total of 1 year as an adult, I've smoked 3 packages of cigarettes a day. 1, 2, 3 packs a day. But now I'm up to 5 packs a day. But that's what's happened. So I'm sitting there this morning. I'm looking all around the room, trying to not think about this horrible thought that has just occurred to me. I'm sitting there looking at the baseball that I threw out at that game in Clearwater, and the judge's ribbon. I'd seen Richard Roper's column in the paper this morning, where he was talking about smoking and suggested we ban the suckers. Sounded like a great idea to me. I'd give it some passing thought. It sure would make it a hell of a lot easier on me if I didn't have access to the damn things. I know I can get over it in 3 or 4 days. I know that because I've done it before. And at the rate I'm going, I will spend between $3,000 and $4,000 on cigarettes this year. $3,000 to $4,000. That's a hell of a lot of money. And I probably cough 20 or 30 times an hour, or about 165,000 times a year. 165,000 times I tear my chest apart. I tear my throat apart. I smell, I drop ashes all over the damn place, and I'll probably kill myself doing this. And for what? A drug. An addictive drug, a vile, nasty, addictive drug, one that literally rules my life, one that has caused me to do things that I'm embarrassed about, like going through ashtrays in the morning looking for a half-smoked cigarette when I hadn't planned well enough. Or getting up and literally taking a shower and getting dressed so I could walk across the street with dignity to buy a package of cigarettes when I hadn't planned well enough. A drug that rules my life, a drug that turns me into a mean-spirited monster if it's taken away from me for even a few hours. I sit here every day and I flip the residue of my smoking on Johnson. Nice man, doesn't smoke. You know, it's the main reason that Catherine Johns no longer works the shift is that I smoke. And she just can't deal with it. And she's not as polite as Johnson. Crap rules my life. It causes me to be insensitive and uncaring and unthinking to others. And it ruins my own health, which is also being uncaring and unthinking and insensitive to my wife. And the other people that depend on me.
Well, that was Lassiter. He was coming in strong, but now it's a damn good monologue, and it's the end of the show. There's about another 20 more minutes to go before he signs off. We'll see if we can have him skip in to our lives again.
Our statistics show that 277,000 of them ate cupcakes. So, it could be there's the cupcakes, I exaggerate, but not by very much. I get embarrassed when I hear about their marketing and their advertising strategies like we've all been hearing about for the last couple of weeks. I get really embarrassed. And I'm so damned ashamed of my own weakness. Or I'm ashamed when I've given a cigarette to people who are fighting and losing the war. Richard Roper's right when he asks at the end of that column today, shouldn't such a deadly product be outlawed? It should. It serves utterly no purpose. There is no defense for it. It's a drug, a destructive drug, a deadly drug. And so is alcohol, and so is cocaine, and so are a lot of other things. And it all raises a very valid, if uncomfortable question. Do I have a right to be a drug user? And if I do you have a right not to be inconvenienced by my habit? I mean, if you sanction and profit from my addiction, then isn't it just a bit hypocritical of you to ask me not to do my drugs when you're around, not to do my drugs while sitting inside of an aluminum tube at 30,000 feet in the air, or not to do my drugs at my desk at work? I mean, as an example, the good folks in the state of Illinois just increased welfare payments January the 1st, and that increase was financed exclusively by increasing the cigarette tax. The good citizens of Illinois relieved themselves of the burden of paying for welfare recipients and placed it on the backs of the addicted smoker. Get the picture? Ought to be one way or the other, don't you think? Outlaw it or put up with it. In about a half an hour from now, I'll be at home, eating dinner. I'm going to watch a little TV, retire to my room, work a little, play a little, and no doubt go over to the couch at some point during the evening and sit there aimlessly smoking, filling my lungs with gunk, coating my computer with gunk, literally depriving myself of sleep so that I can smoke just one more. Well, maybe just one more. Well, just one more. All the while, literally slowly killing myself because I am not strong enough or smart enough to do otherwise. I am a sad, pathetic drug user. And my addiction is preyed upon by the heartless tobacco industry and the tax man, neither of whom gives a damn about me. I can still see that little kid standing in the bathroom at 128 Maple Avenue, holding the match to the cigarette. I can see the grown man reaching for a cigarette the night the hospital called to say that his mother had finally died from lung cancer. And I still remember the shame of doing the last commercial for the Quit Smoking program in Tampa while holding a cigarette. And it looks like I'll smoke another 5 packs again today. Damn stuff ought to be outlawed, shouldn't it? Let me give you the telephone number. 591-8900, 591-8900. You're on the air at WLS.
Oh, hi, Bob.
Hi.
I enjoy your show a lot. I really, really enjoy it a lot. If I could just, you know the Witt brothers, you mentioned them in your Christmas monologue. They have the museum in Pennsylvania, rather, has their displays. So if you want to see those again, you can go see them. I wrote you to tell you that. But anyway, the thing about the smoking, maybe you should go see that Sobel guy again in Florida. And because a lot of times when people have a habit and they go to somebody and they help them break it, you go back to that.
Oh, I'd like to see him again. I know the secret.
Well,
I knew the secret before I went to see Dr. Sobel, to tell you the truth. The secret is you have to convince yourself you don't want to smoke anymore. That's all you have to do.
Maybe he helped you. Anyway, I like your show a lot. Great. So thank you very much. Bye.
To the south side we go. Hi there, South. You're on the air at WLS.
Hi, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm calling because I'm discouraged when I hear you sounding so discouraged with all the good things you do. And I just feel...
Well, it's a hell of a thing when you wake up one morning and realize I'm smoking 5 packs of cigarettes a day now. I didn't realize that.
You can stop. I mean, it's not hopeless.
Oh, I know that.
Okay. And I just want you to know that the type of radio that you're giving us, we just couldn't do without it, and we need to, and I just wish that you could feel a little hope that you can kick it. You can kick it. Some people have it with food and other drugs, and I know you can do it.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you very much. To the west, make that Lincoln Park. Hi there, Linky. You're on the air at WLS.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
You raised a lot of points. I'm not sure where to begin. I tell you that I'm a recovering drug addict, and I've been clean for 18 months, but I cannot stop smoking cigarettes. And
you haven't recovered completely.
Well,
just got rid of one drug.
I've gotten rid of all the drugs but nicotine, and I just recently took care of my mother who died from lung cancer. She was a hospice patient. I mean, I saw all of this. It's not like being in a hospital. And these health professionals kept telling me, well, yes, you probably should stop smoking, but now isn't the time. And this was about 2 months ago. And I have tried everything, but you hit one point that I had put in the back of my brain, which is how our government is saying, well, we're going to restrict this here and there, but we're going to gouge you for it to support these programs that we think are really important.
Precisely. The damn things ought to be outlawed. They really and truly should, but my goodness, that would cost so much money and lost revenue, so we'll let the suckers buy the damn things, but we'll just kind of make them go sit in a corner to smoke them.
Well, I don't think that any drug should be outlawed just because I have a problem with them and a lot of other people do. I don't want more government interference, but you raised the point. I'm sitting around, there must be 4 unopened packs in the room I'm in right now, and I'm going to try once more, and maybe this will be the time.
I wish you luck.
Thanks.
Thank you. 591-8900. Schaumburg. Hi, Schaum. You're on the air at WLS.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, fine.
I was listening to all your comments you were making about smoking 5 packs a day, and how, you had quit and then gone back to it. I'm basically a reform smoker. I've been without cigarettes for 3 months, and I've just started slipping back into, borrowing, first of all, starting with just a puff of someone's cigarette, and then borrowing
God, doesn't it taste great?
Pardon?
Doesn't it taste great?
Yeah, and that's what scares me, because I don't want to go back to it.
Well, you see, if you smoke 2 packages of cigarettes, like you normally would have, by tomorrow morning you won't be able to taste them anymore.
Say that again, if what?
If you smoke a couple of packages of cigarettes, like you used to smoke,
yes,
by tomorrow morning you won't be able to taste them anymore. They will have, your taste buds will again have gone bonkers.
So I was was just calling you. It sounds like you've really done some deep thinking about the whole process of smoking, and you've had your experience with your mother.
Oh, my God, when you wake up and realize that you're smoking 5 packages of cigarettes a day, it hits you like a ton of bricks.
One question on that is, where do you have time to even smoke that many in one day?
Well, you see, I sit up until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
So how many hours do you sleep in an evening? I mean, do you just like...
4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
I get up again at 7.
So what advice would you give me to not go back and just stick in with, the non-smoking routine?
The only thing that you can possibly do is the way you quit the first time. You just convince yourself it isn't worth it. You put up with a couple of days of agony. Which I'm not able to do. You're asking a failure here to give you advice.
I quit with the Nicorette, which seems to work well for me.
Well, whatever works for you. Some people need a gimmick, some people don't. But the main thing is, obviously, you just have to finally get it through your head. This isn't worth it.
I looked at it when I started and made the commitment to not smoke or to stop smoking. I viewed it as a psychological battle because actually it's just the thought that creates the action.
Oh, but those first 3 or 4 days are hell.
Yeah, I mean, it is. When you go through...
I justify it by saying, well, geez, I'm working. I can't go in there for 4 or 5 days in an absolute snick.
Right.
Right, and be mean to everybody. I'll wait till I take a vacation.
That's why I found the Nicorette seems to help take the edge off of that frenzy state that you go through when you first take logical battle to saying no.
You too.
Yeah, it helped hearing what you had to say, and as I was listening to you driving home from work, I was like, well, why in the heck am I going back to the cigarettes? I mean, look at what this man is saying, and look at what he's gone through. Why in my right mind would I even want to entertain the thought?
All the years that I smoked 2 and 3 packages a day, every now and then I'd run into somebody who said, well, geez, I smoke 4 or 5, and I would always look at them and say, you disgusting pig, have you no willpower, have you no shame? And now I have to admit I'm smoking 5 packs of cigarettes a day. Oh. And sitting up to do it. I mean, I have to expand my day to accommodate.
Just to accommodate the habit.
Yeah, I'm getting up sleep.
It's like it's an obsession with you at this point.
Yeah, it is, and I didn't realize it. I'm far, far, far more over the edge than I was before.
It's beyond a habit, it's an obsession.
Yeah, it's an addiction. It's a total and complete addiction.
Well, all I can say is you helped me kind of rethink my actions, and I'm going to go back to my psychological battle and just say no before I act on the impulse. And I'll keep you in my prayers so that you can have the same success. How's that sound?
Fine.
Okay. I enjoy your show as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, Bob. Bye-bye.
Take care. I am not, by the way, publicly quitting smoking. I've pulled that stunt before to try to shame myself into it. If I ever beat this damn thing, after I think I've got it under control, I'll let you know. I remember a couple of months ago, Stacey Taylor tried that stunt on the air. I've done it too, and you try to embarrass yourself. And I don't see Taylor very often. I see him very infrequently. And I showed up out at the auto show, and it was the first time I'd seen him in months. And I noticed that on the table in front of him was a package of cigarettes. And the next day I showed up out at the auto show, and Taylor asked me for a cigarette. The truth is, he and I don't get along very well. But I'm a smoker. I gave it to him. I think I gave him a couple. I understood. And what the hell, I had 5 packs in my briefcase. I have 5 right now. Oh, well. Love you, Chicago.